What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beautiful day. Emperor ZK is finally gonna be here to do our first video gaming review. I've been talking about it for a while, so I do apologize that I wasn't able to bring this one out any more sooner, but today we're finally gonna do it, and it is gonna be a video game review about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Let's go, baby. Okay, storyline. What do we think about the current storyline about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Well, I can tell you right now, in the beginning, you feel very lost in space. It gives you the feeling that you're being stranded and you're being left alone for such a long time that you've forgotten who you really are. Alright, it's like a visual cue reminder for myself.
Now you look at that.
Shipwrecking yard.
Separatist ship. Haven't seen a Luke or Hulk in ages.
Yeah. Ages.
Breaking her will be big money.
Basically, Cal is gonna walk around and you're gonna have to get used to him just walking from one side to the next, and then all of a sudden, action starts. Believe me, the scenery and everything about it is beautiful while you are taking that stroll, and when action starts, you get introduced to wonderful characters such as the sisters. Right? And you're looking at, oh man, what's the sister? And she's got a lightsaber and stuff, and then all of a sudden we've got a lightsaber, and obviously we're no match for her, and you're going through, like, you know, slashing and trying to survive and doing everything you can to get away from the Empire. Oh, he's so dead.
To the Empire. We're all just expendable.
Yes, you are.
Oh, come on!
Look at this, a lightsaber.
Oh, she's got a jewel, she's an apprentice.
I found the Jedi!
And sure, along the way you're gonna meet some very, very good buddies. And what I mean by buddies is, well, number one, you'll meet Siri, who is basically a former Jedi Master who's actually lost her ways with the Force. I don't think we were supposed to win against her because I couldn't get my attacks in.
Get on board!
Okay. Go, go, go! Oh man, look at her.
Captain!
You meet Grease, who is basically my definition of a really solid character in this game, and he's a very good realist, and he's the way he's like personified is really good, because don't just take my word for it. Grease plays into this role where he's always worried and he's got problems with his life and gambling and all that. That just grows on you.
Oh, we're not good enough for you?
And then you get to meet other characters that you're gonna fall in love with, and some you're gonna hate, absolutely dread to even see. But yeah, that's just how it is. What do I have to say about how the story progresses is that you actually meet a little droid called BD1, which is super cute. And basically BD1 plays this, you know, this message, right? It's like one of those holographic messages that Leica, you know, did to find Obi-Wan Kenobi. And basically BD1, the little cute droid that I love and you can customize, but I refused. Yeah, gives you the message from a former Jedi Master, and his name is Cordova. And Cordova, who is on a pilgrimage to keep finding the lost relics from Zepho, and he's going to give you tasks, and he's going to give you missions, and he wants you to follow in his ways. And basically, you know, they're going to grow on the story of where you're going to have to go to this planet, to the next planet, and to the ruins, and then to rediscover a few things. Now that is actually pretty awesome. Hello, BD1.
Hey, BD1. I'm Cal. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm looking for someone. No, not you. I'm searching for a Jedi. I think. Hold on. You know the Jedi? What do you know? Wait, hold on. Did you just slice that? Thanks.
Nice. Yeah, we're here.
You all right, BD?
Well done, whoever you are.
You
You have passed the test I left behind and gained access to the vault and this recording, one of many encrypted logs stored in the droid. I am Master Eno Cordova. I may not know your name, but I know your purpose. The fate of the Jedi Order lies in your hands.
In the beginning, you might be thinking the storyline is not that much because you're having so much exploration time. It is so open, yet it doesn't feel like, you know, it's really restrictive. The way I played it throughout the gameplay is I did as much exploring as I could, and I tried to get all the treasures in the way. And yeah, it did take a little bit of extra time, but exploring everything was so worth it.
Get off my sofa! Get off my sofa! No! Get out of there! Get out!
That is BD1. He's with us.
I don't care who he's with. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get oil stains out of petroleum fabric?
Not really.
Oh, I hope you found something better out there than this droid.
Oh, calm down, Breeze. He did.
Gameplay. Now obviously this is a video gaming review, so let's go into how this game played out and how awesome it feels. During my journey through it on Twitch stream, the way I encountered this game is that sometimes it feels a bit clunky during the movements because you're sort of like moving left and right and the camera doesn't really do much and it sort of blurs you out a little bit. That's what I felt, and it's not like I have any motion sickness, it's just it feels a bit unsmooth in that area, but everything else about the gameplay is so fun, right? I didn't play it on the easy level. I think I played it on the Jedi Knight level difficulty, if not higher, and it teaches you how to use the Force and how to use your lightsaber properly and how to upgrade your skills. Now, let's talk about it. Let's break it down to the finer points. WSD space, we'll know it. Jumping, everything about it is cool. You can customize your controllers, or like, you know, if you're used to playing it on a console, you'll be used to that too. On the keyboard, I found it a bit funny when I had to press Z constantly to evade. Sometimes even if you did evade, if you mistimed the evade, or even if you didn't evade enough, the monster still hits you, and you feel gutted for not having that kind of a, you know, mistake avoided. Get out of here! Right? And then it teaches you that you need to avoid danger when it comes to you, or use the Force, right? Because yes, they're red moves. They are red moves, which means that this move you cannot parry, right? And parry gives you immense advantage into defeating your enemies quick. But when it comes to red moves, you can't parry, and normally your first thing is to dodge. So if you play like Neo or Sekiro or Dark Souls or anything, you'll be wanting to dodge. Well, bad point is that yeah, a lot of people don't really get the whole point is that you're supposed to use the Force sometimes to freeze them, to, like, you know, slow time, to push, to pull maybe if you're a bit more Daredevil. So annoying.
Come back here!
You can lock onto enemies, right? As you will, but if you know what's good for you when it's not a one-on-one situation, you will never lock onto the enemy, and that is an option given to you, which is superb. You get to use your Force powers. Obviously, you do not get to abuse unlimited Force. Your Force comes on a Force bar, and if you run out, you're gonna have to do some parrying, or if you leveled it on the skill tree like myself, is that when you attack an enemy who's defending, if you get it successfully, you get more Force, and you can collect things outside where exploration comes out, and it gives you like maximum life, maximum Force, and you can do more stuff with it. Now, the beautiful thing, and this is the biggest kicker, right, is when you choose to slay enemies. It's not just grab the lightsaber, you're like, yeah, chop, 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 chop. It's not like that. You can get super creative, because there's something called, if you push someone over the cliff, they die. Okay, so the way you do it, you can be really creative. Whether there's like some space gaps in front of you and you pull the enemy towards the gap and then they fall and die, or if you lure them all into one, and if you, like myself, have like in a mass push where you can push a lot of enemies at once and use some good force, then yeah, you get something called the bank shot, and boom, everyone goes out from the sky and they all fall to their death, and that is sexy. Yo!
I'll give you that.
Okay, so let's go about how good this game looks on graphics. The way I see it, it is superb. You go from the ancient ruins towards a serene place into the dusty planets on Dathomir, and then you get to go and explore space. Well, not really explore space. You're sort of like on the ship when you're on the flashback with your old master, Jaratapal, and everything about it is superb.
Try again.
It's difficult, Master.
Yes, the path is difficult.
You get to feel the serenity that it brings when you're in a calm place, and you get to feel the dread. Once you see Dathomir, oh my god, you see it and you're like, I hate this place so much, I don't want to be here. And the game even tells you, the game characters goes, oh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. And Grease, he's always like, oh, it's Dathomir. And you yourself, you feel it, you land there and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to be here ever again. Just go straight to the bridge. Why, you don't want to see me go through the whole path again?
I got walls, I got Jedi, I'm fine. Yeah.
But then you get to love it. You get to feel a beautiful accomplishment by coming back and forth and going back to other planets to do other objectives. And the way they present it to you is paired up with some of the most beautiful thing I've seen and heard. I have to like mention this. This is supposed to be graphics, but I heard the music with it, and I heard the way that they presented it with these graphics. Like, say for example, when you go to island and it's a snow planet. It's it's filled with like, it's like a blizzard, right? You go in, it's cold, you can't see anything, and you have to solve some puzzles and stuff, and you feel like you're in the north. I'm assuming this is the right place. Everything is presented to you in the most beautiful way. It's so good. Once you get into it, you will feel it and you will think, wow, the graphics is that good and it aligns with exactly what I need. This is a big miss on my part. I thought I saw everything. Alright, we have to cover this part, music. Now, I'm an expert when it comes to music. I've done a lot of work in digital music, classical music, studied it all my life. So let's go. How does this video game music fit with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Well, I can tell it to you like this. I didn't really notice it until it was really epic, right? When you're on the planets or in the ruins, you're sort of just left alone, right? So when you go into Kashyyyk, you get to hear the wildlife. You don't really get to hear any sound until the Empire starts attacking, or when you're facing something and you can only hear really faint kind of music. And that was for me, right? For me, it was sort of like it was lacking in that sort of genre. Not that I minded. Alright, don't get me wrong, I didn't really mind that there was no music, and you're supposed to feel everything around you, the environment and even the force, and you sort of go, do I want to advance? But I have to, I can't go back, those kind of a thing. And then when it comes to like, the main point where music really kicks in, it's all of a sudden everything has sprung to life and it's like, da-da! Oh, fucking. Go against the wall. And you even get to this point where it is gonna be like Duel of the Fates, right? You're gonna be like dun, 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 dun. That kind of a like moment when you're having the most epic battle with your lightsabers against strong enemies and bosses. How can I put music on a big scale? I would have loved it if they actually included a tiny bit more music. Now, just a tiny bit more in the background to get me going. Sometimes when I'm in the ruins, oh my god, I feel like I hate this place. I never want to come back again. Something, give me some sort of extra little bit of a kick in that music direction and I will love it, and they would have nailed it 100%. But don't get me wrong, when it comes to this kind of games and the genre of how they are supposed to represent, music is fine. Battling, especially when battling, the music on the epic scenes are tops. The rest needs more doing, and despite the game is sort of giving you that kind of a direction where you might be feeling the isolation, and that is one of the selling points of it, that you're a loner and stuff with your band of rag and tags, a little bit of music will fine-tune everything. Oh. Okay, and it wouldn't be right for me to do this review if I didn't go into the cons and some of the bugs I've encountered when playing this game. Okay, so the cons, it's not that bad, right? Sometimes you cannot control the way your lightsaber is actually flying, and I mean you want to do free control. I felt that it was a bit funny when I invested so much into throwing my lightsaber and I was flying at a crappy direction, because I don't want to lock into one enemy. There's like 5-6 enemies. There's no way I'm gonna lock onto one, chuck my lightsaber and stuff, because others are gonna be attacking me, right? Could just be my noob control, but I feel like that is one point where you could have been done better in terms of the mechanics. We didn't have any access to the force lightning and stuff. I guess we're not like Starkiller, or we're not that powerful yet. I would have liked some of the ancient temples, the mechanics to be a bit more highlighted and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I was stuck and I didn't mind it to solve the puzzle. Yet there was some moments in the other castle, which castle it was? It was the castle where there was like the candle, and you have to pull the candle and make sure it's not doused, and then you have to aim it on the other side of the wall and then make a stick it, make it stuck towards the gravity that he was pulling towards, and then use that one to burn the rope. The way to chuck the candle was really awkward. Every time I pulled it towards me and I tried to send it that way, you were flying in all different directions minus the right direction. That was a little bit funky for me. Should have been greased up a little bit better so that we can control and know exactly what's up, instead of saying, oh, I pulled it and I tried to send it that way. So many times it didn't work. No matter what direction I faced, it just kept on flying back into the other way. What was that? Oh my god. I'm pretty sure sending it to this side is the right call. Why does it keep fake? I get it. I get it now. And there's some other times where you are using the force in the right way, force pushing the ball and the ball is not really reacting, and you're like, is that right? Am I not following the hint or something? And then you circle around for a good 30 minutes until BD1 goes, here's the hint, you were doing the right thing. Not really, but not really in the right way. So that was a little bit funky and a bit clunky in my expectations, right? So it could be executed a little bit better. I'm not asking for all the hints in the world. I'm asking for certain mechanics to work it just a little bit better. Just a little bit, right? A little bit. I mean, besides from this one, oh, you son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! The whole time! Battling, right? there is a little bit of a bug. It's not a big issue. So when you see red moves, right, you cannot block it, so you want to dodge it or you want to use the force. Now what happens is if you died, right, you get a game over and then you restart from where you last spawned into the game fight. The last person that you died to, they will appear as yellow, right? And the yellow part is all cool and all, but then if you don't know what's happening, like you need to really pay attention to what the boss or what the monster is doing. If they're doing a red move in the beginning, you can't see it. So you're gonna get hit because they're still yellow. Until you hit them, that's when they're gonna go back to their normal color and they're gonna be like, oh, wait a minute, it's red. Right? That could be just a bit more better in that sense, but I get it. After wiping on my difficulty, I could have handled it a little bit better on it, but I got used to it, and you will too. It is just a very tiny complaint. Everything else, I will say this. We had a little bit of a teaser on an AT-AT. Can we please get one massive battle where we're on the AT-AT or Jack and AT-AT and use it to fight for the rebels? Please. Because that little bit of a sequence was only there for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes? You only give me 5 minutes with an AT-AT? I want it for an hour. I want it for a whole hour, like a whole planet, like a whole mission. Give me some AT-AT action. Give me some X-Wing, Y-Wing. Give me some TIE fighters. Give me something. I want to fly. I want to use those ships and go into battle. I want to be able to use my scrapping mechanic skills as my character and really show off what Star Wars can be. Oh, baby. Pew pew pew! Pew pew!
So those are the blasters.
Oh!
That's out of the way.
Yeah! Now, I didn't get to play the planet Nur in the end because I was too busy going to the end and I didn't really want to explore it anymore because I felt like I wanted to go through with the storyline. But that is just my complaint because it is Star Wars and Star Wars is not just about, you know, Jedis. Although it is about Jedi on this one, but like, you know, when we saw Seer, right? Seer was a badass in action. One hand lightsaber, one hand blaster. Oh, look at her! She blasted them and chucked her lightsaber. Why don't we get this? Give us a blaster. Sometimes we might need to use a blaster as a substitute, right? Or maybe if we finish the game, maybe give us a new game plus where we can, you know, instead of being Cal, we can be someone else and we basically use that character and they have their blasters, they don't have lightsabers and they're going to go through those whole stage like that. Although it's going to be breaking most of the game mechanics because the monsters are expecting you to use a lightsaber but you're just going to be like at the back going pew, 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 pew. But still, it's something that could be considered for the next Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order if there was such a thing. And lastly, if, and this is if, right? In the end, you finish the game and there's no new game plus, but there's a challenging arena. Basically, you go through waves and waves of enemies and you eventually go to all the purge troopers and then you go to all the other troopers and waves of enemies and then even more bounty hunters and stuff and you wipe them all out and you survive to the end. Darth Vader come out and you fight Darth Vader, or even Luke Skywalker, you fight them, right? And then it's not like you're gonna beat them because that's not the storyline. You're gonna try to beat them and then they still kick you out butt all the way back to Kingdom Come and then they just walk away but you still win. It's a sense of accomplishment. It's not that big of an ask, something to be considered about, and that is all gonna be the cons for this game.
You have failed me, Inquisitor.
Okay, here we go. We're at the rating part. And this is gonna be very exciting for me because this is the first time I've done this video game review. The official rating I'm gonna give to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is gonna be an 8 out of 10. A beautiful 8 out of 10. Could it be more? 100%. 100%, it could be like a 9 out of 10, or even a 10 out of 10, or even a 20 out of 10 if they had made everything a bit more smooth and, you know, added the stuff that we were all expecting, like New Game Plus and Arena Mode, more AT-AT, you know, some sky fighting, some space fighting, those kind of stuff, right? If they had all of those elements in, this game would be an immense 20 out of 10. But for this game, as it is on this entry, it is going to be an 8 out of 10 for everything that I love about Star Wars and the way a Jedi is supposed to be initiated all the way to the end. I like it. I really like the game. There is nothing that I will complain a lot about, and when I did finish the game, I felt satisfied. I felt like the ending gave me wanting a lot more, and that's exactly what we want for the next possible sequel. Now, if you think, oh man, I've seen everyone play it and I've, you know, already done whatever I should with it, that's fair enough. But if you haven't played the game, you should definitely go check it out, buy it even. Hell, maybe even wait for a special. I would say, if you love Star Wars and you love a little bit of, you know, just grinding it out there by yourself and, you know, taking that initial path of a Star Wars Jedi, then this is it. This is the game for you, and you should definitely go and check it out. 8 out of 10. It's a very solid score for my first video game review, and I cannot wait to do the next one. And guys, you don't have to agree with my rating, because this is just based on my personal experience, and this episode is definitely not sponsored. I could get a lot of things wrong, but this is my first attempt, so please be nice. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, because I can't wait to play a sequel if that's in the future, because they've definitely done a beautiful job with this game, making me a gamer who wants more about this current Star Wars game is a very hard thing to do, especially with the debacle of everything else. This Star Wars, I think, is a success. What do you guys think?
You would be wise to surrender.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in here and listening to this game review. I am absolutely honored and happy to be able to do this kind of thing from now on. And if you do like this video, please smash that thumbs up, like, and subscribe with the bell button. I really do need and appreciate all your support. And if you do have anything that you wanted to share with me or tell me, make sure to check me out on Twitch, which I will link on the bottom, or come into my Discord and we will be going in there like no tomorrow. Until next time, please enjoy yourselves and may the Force be with you. Emperor ZK out! Alright. I didn't see that. Gameplay. Alright. We're all here thinking about how to play. Let's go again.